And welcome back, folks, to the AEL Uni League for Dota 2. We're here for a lower bracket game tonight. It's going to be a good one between UOW and their opponents that they're going to be going up against are a team that, honestly, I haven't seen them clash yet, but I'm going to be very excited to see exactly how this one turns out. It's going to be Left Right Goodnight, RMIT, who made their debut in this season, pulling out some crazy wombo combos, managed to make themselves out of the group stage, but they have some tough competition as UOW, our defending champions from the 2021 Season 1 that we previously had in the first half of this year. I'm Kadius, joined here on the casting desk today by Wombatspew for the first time. How are we doing?
Good, thank you, Kadius. Thanks for having me. Excited to watch some University Dota on a sunny Sunday afternoon.
Certainly, indeed. It does look like Wombat is the lobby host for the game, so probably need to start that one. But definitely going to be some great games tonight. UOW always have an absolute showing. MBTW in particular is definitely a great position one to watch out for. Same with Kid. Actually, I can't remember if it's Kid or MBTW. That's the pos ones. One of them. Gubala, though, I know is their pos 2, and he is arguably the best position 2 in the tournament. Super good. He basically wins his one-on-one every single game, even in matchups that you normally wouldn't expect to see it. I know he picked some definitely unorthodox heroes into fairly strong mid players who were playing fairly dominant mids in the meta and still were able to pull out a victory. So definitely a player to watch coming into this series.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these two teams play. I know a couple of them just through the Dota scene, through the OEDL sort of scene as well, and Gubala, nice to see his name again. Noticed also across the board with Giga Chatelaide and UQ and that, so there's some friendly faces in there. So it's nice. It's nice to be brought on to this uni league. I was at UQ for many years and used to see some of the boys play in the esports room there. So unfortunately no Farnsworth, but he's got a lot of predecessors
10 seconds
and
remaining.
Takeovers that I think are going to represent UQ quite nicely later on in the world bracket. But we do have a best of 3 today, so we will at least see 2 games. Who do you reckon's the favourites coming into this? University of Wollongong, obviously they won last year, but RMIT contenders?
I would definitely say interesting. That's always fun to watch. I would definitely say UOW Esports are the favors here. Obviously, they have probably had the more dominant group stage. Not only that, being the winners, as you know, we mentioned earlier, from the first half of this year in the first season, they ended up, hoisting the trophy, and they are trying to do it once again and get the 2 for back-to-back, claiming both the 2021 seasons. Left Right Goodnight, they're definitely a great team. They made it out of the group stage, but it was with some shaky games. They definitely did lose to some of the upper teams. But I mean, that's the thing about a Dota tournament like this. There's definitely growth that can occur over the course of, the entire thing. So that's what I'm going to be looking out for in particular.
I mean, they just had, uni holidays kind of recently, so maybe they've been practicing. How often do these guys play? Is it on a weekly basis? Is it...
Well, yeah, no. So the games are basically every single week with the group stage, which was definitely a lot of fun to watch. But then as well as that, they've also got scrims in between that they do in their own time. So these teams have played a lot. And one thing that I'm going to be excited about in this game in particular is I feel like this is going to be the first big stream game that I've been a part of where these teams are now playing after the international has had a bit of time to play out, and maybe the meta competitively has been developed a little bit through the watching the international, and therefore these teams might have some new strategies that they've been brewing and willing to put on display here for us.
What do you reckon you might see then across the board? I mean, OG's been doing pretty nice. EG managed to win all of them yesterday. I think Team Acer actually lapped OG too. They're the ones that I follow, but in terms of hero picks, what's popular across the board in TI?
IO is being picked in like almost every single game. Position 4 and position 5 mainly, but we definitely have seen some core IO as well in I think 1 game. So people are putting tons of priority on that IO pick for sure, to say the least. As well as that, Earthshaker is seeing a lot of dominance. ET as well being picked up quite regularly.
Yeah, ET, I've seen him a few times. I think MK is probably one of the most contested these days. Like, you see so much Monkey King across the board. He seems to be doing pretty well. Is that usually the safe lane pick?
No, we've actually seen Monkey King usually as a 4. That's where he mostly goes, and then after that would be 5. So Monkey King support is definitely what he's being picked as for the most part in TI. At least the games I've watched. Definitely, I haven't watched every game. And that's mostly obviously because of his ability to jump around the trees, get the vision. It's very good. Tiny is a hero that we've seen banned out a lot. And speak of the devil, there's the Monkey King pick. And yeah, therefore, tiny bans have been very common. I know, especially against EG. RTZ's been making a name on the position 1 Tiny, so that's been pretty much first ban against EG every single draft.
It's I've been noticing that Tiny's, I mean, by the time he gets to that level 16 talent, you're almost unkillable. You've got almost 3k health, and it's just, he's just a ridiculous hero. So I do not miss seeing him in the games. But I mean, Jakiro is a nice little pickup. Obviously, it can help towards the push strat. It doesn't really show what RMIT are going to be doing. Do we have any favorites that they generally build? Are they going to go for comfort picks? Do you think they are just going to go follow the meta?
UOW, it's kind of hard to tell. They definitely do like to play very flexible. I don't think they're a team that you can really ban out per se, but we can see that they're definitely trying to go for the strong heroes here, taking up the Monkey King first pick. That's a great one. Obviously, it is mostly played as like a 4 or 5, but it can definitely get played core. Thompson, as you know, one of the prime examples of a Monkey King 2 player, has picked that one up for OG, I think, in a couple games so far. But here's the Earthshaker that we were talking about. Now, this is a hero who is just all over the place. He is being played 3, 4, 5, and especially, I remember in most of the games that I watched yesterday, he was actually being played as a 2. So,
5 seconds.
Oh, is that fair?
Yeah, Earthshaker, I don't know. Something very, very dominant about this hero right now that people are really getting behind.
I mean, I've seen quite a lot of the time they skip Blink, they go straight for like an Aghanims and maybe even like a Shadow Blade is pretty nice. Pretty sure you can cast Shadow Blade post totem jump, so it's really hard to dodge that stun. And you've got a lot of right-click damage with him as well. He becomes a core, so good to see that pick up there. And Clockwork, yeah, that's something I've been seeing a lot lately too. Pretty nice combo. Would that be a core coupled with the Monkey King then, or would that be a support?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to say right now. Obviously, you can have the Monkey King 5, you can have the Monkey King 1 with the Clockwork 4, or you can have the Monkey King 4, put the Clockwork 3, even put the Clockwork 5 maybe, depending on certain lanes. So a little bit too early in the draft to tell. UOW definitely do like their flex picks, pick up their heroes that they can put between multiple roles. But at the same time, Left, Right, Good Night are doing the exact same thing. This Earthshaker can be taken in a lot of places. I think when it comes to the position 2 Shaker, he seems to be picked mostly into melee matchups, because you pretty much just go, you put like 0 points in your first skill, and you just go for like a 0-4-2 sort of build early on, and try and just get the massive enchant totems to bully the melee heroes in the middle lane. So I have to be wary about that, drafting a melee position too, because then the Shaker can just come in for a bit of a counter pick. But pretty stock standard bans here. Klink's getting taken off the board. That's another position 1 that we've seen a lot of recently. Same with Medusa.
Definitely don't miss that. But yeah, they're taking Drow off. Is that because she's popular, or are they going to pick a Lycan here? Or are they going to go for... I mean, actually, someone who is still in the pool is Nyx. So if Earthshaker does go core, I can see them picking that up. I feel like that's a pretty strong hero. Nyx
is definitely alright. His Aghanims is one of the better ones in the game.
Yeah, like Lycan seems pretty popular. The bite, I saw Lycan combo with a Sven is pretty nice with the cleave. Otherwise, you've got Lycan. Who's the other one that's pretty good? Ursa, I've seen that. Lycan Ursa.
Yeah, Ursa's definitely been getting picked up quite a bit, which is surprising. That hero is not one that we've seen a lot of before TI. But Sluck, that is a hero that we have seen a lot of, not just at the International, but also here in the AEL season. That's been one that's been picked up quite a lot. So banning that out makes a lot of sense. Wanting to make sure that you're not going to be able to have someone that's really difficult for Clockwork and Monkey King to lock down. Obviously, you lock Sluck into the cogs as Clockwork, and he either just pounces away or pops the ulti, and you're not able to hit him. Definitely very annoying to deal with.
Pick up there, Snapfire. I can see the Cookie being good against the cogs. If she's going to lane against him, if it is a core or a support. I mean, I think ES and Snap can go either way. Have we seen much Snap mid? I don't know if I've seen that in a while, but I do know it is played every now and then.
Definitely, we haven't seen. I have not seen a single Snap mid game in the tournament so far. With the ones that I've been on, they were usually in the support role. But yeah, Snap is definitely a hero that's been gaining a lot of popularity due to, again, TI. Players like Yapsor have been picking it up. You start the Blightstone and your third skill, and you basically just click E and then right-click someone and they disappear. It's pretty ridiculous. I've seen Yapsor 100 to 0 position 5s as the position 4 Snap with just that one skill, just shooting them down. It's pretty ridiculous, the damage it can output, and then obviously in team fights later on in the game, Mortimer Kiss is very, very good, especially around Roshan fights, so makes a lot of sense why you'd want to pick it up there. Has a lot of, area denial along with Jakiro and Earthshaker. They all do very similar things. So team fight going to be the name of the game for Left Right Goodnight Esports. And that's usually what they go for. As I mentioned earlier, their first game in the season was actually a composition that was built around a Magnus, and he ended up getting a 5-man reverse polarity to nearly turn the entire game around when they were definitely facing down a very early defeat. And then the game ended up getting dragged out quite a lot due to those crazy RP plays. So definitely a team to watch out for when it comes to their teamfight prowess.
Meg's still in the mix. Maybe we'll see him pop up, but I don't know about that really. But yeah, I am interested in the Batrider pick. It's obviously quite strong in the mid lane too, and so far the heroes that he's going to be lassoing don't have super duper counters. As OD is still available though if they want to go for that. See, or what do they really need to pick here? Are they going for a safe lane? Do you reckon now?
Yeah, they don't have a position 1. That's kind of what they need to go for here. Based on what they're doing, the Earthshaker is pretty much guaranteed to be going for a 3 or a 2. They pick the Razor here, which, Razor as a 2 definitely would give Earthshaker 2 a very rough lane. Not a lot the Earthshaker can do to touch the Razor, and Static Link is just going to be the bane of his existence. Enchant Totem isn't going to do much if you just have no damage anyway.
You reckon Razor's mid?
The Razor pick, it could obviously be a few things. It could be Batrider, it could be Razor, but just picking the Razor there says that, okay, if your draft is looking to run the Earthshaker 2, we can put the Razor there and make him, basically not have a lane. But obviously, ideally, you want Batrider in that middle lane, just the extra accelerated XP to get Lasso that little bit earlier and start ganking. Is definitely very, very good on that hero, but he can be played as a 3 as well. So we'll have to wait and see. If he does get played as a 3, I imagine we'll be seeing, the Clockwork 4 and the Monkey King 5 more than likely.
I'm feeling like maybe for a +1 here, it could be like a Weaver. That's not too bad against Bat.
Weaver is banned.
Wait, I looked. I swear. Oh, he is up top. All right. Maybe an Ursa then? I know Slark's banned, so that's kind of hard for him to play against. I'm trying to think of maybe Jug.
There's a lot on the table. A lot of the meta position 1s have not been banned out. I know we've seen quite a lot of Terrorblade lately as well. They do go for the Phantom Lancer. Does make a lot of sense. They generally have a pretty hard time playing against PL with this kind of a comp. Batrider has to guess which one to lasso. Same with Razor. Sometimes, he just has to guess which one to Static Link.
Does Doppelganger break Static Link? Or he's
I do believe it does, yes, if he does it, because it does count as like a hard dispel.
Trying to work the logic out behind that, because sometimes it breaks, sometimes it doesn't. Fury swaps will stay on him and a few other things. But,
yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it does.
10 seconds remaining.
Alright, so now they're obviously not wanting to verse something that...
5 seconds remaining.
I feel like Razor might be a +1 Batrider mid, but there is the flex pick, like you said, as an off-frame.
Radiant team banned.
So something they've banned off the Lesh. They're thinking that off, I think, so they're banning mid players.
Yeah, so they're either looking for a 2 here or a 3 for Left Right Goodnight. Definitely gonna want to pick something that's not just gonna get ran over by Batrider. But then you also need to make sure that you have something to follow up on these team fights, because you already have a ton of team fight, right? Jakiro, Earthshaker, Snapfire, pretty incredible. But you need something that's going to be able to follow up in the department. Definitely just need damage. Don't really need much more CC than Earthshaker, Jakiro, Snap. That's already 3 big AoE stuns on your team.
Yeah, in terms of yeah, okay, Void, they actually banned Void Spirit. I thought that RMIT might pick up Void Spirit or Ember Spirit because it's got good disengage. Kind of hard to catch as well. Ember, yeah, still in the mix, but UOW is going to go for a Zeus here. That's probably mid then. How would Zeus match up against Ember? Do you think that could be a valid pick?
I don't know. Like, it's so hard to tell with UOW because they do the strangest things. You would think it's a Zeus too, but you know, at the same time, we've seen like Zeus just go like supports and Zeus go into the side lanes in the AEL group stage. So I don't know. They definitely, it could be Batrider, it could be Razor, it could be Zeus. I think it's going to be based off what Left Right Good Night decide to pick here for their final pick. Again, they're looking for either a 3 or a 2. Are they going to be?
It's just Dota these days. It's very different from a few years ago where you knew where everyone was going.
Okay.
They do pick up the Ember Spirit. Last one, a little bit harder to catch. Obviously, that lasso will be detrimental if he does get picked up, but I think that gives him a bit of split potential. Might be okay to counter the Zeus split if he gets picked up before. You know their names better than me. You can tell me what position everyone's going.
Yeah, so Lincoln's is their mid laner. He is quite good, so that is going to be an Ember in the middle lane. Slane is their 5, I do believe, so he is probably going to be rocking the Jakiro 5, which means it's going to be an Earthshaker Snap off lane as well. It's got a lot of kill pressure, I would say. You know, usually Earthshaker 3, his big weakness is he doesn't have a lot of kill pressure in lane. Once he does get his items, you know, once he does get the Aghanims, once he does get the Blink online, he really does start being a bit of a menace, but until that point, he's not super scary. But Gubala is the position 2 for UOW Esports, so they have decided to rock the Zeus in the middle lane, and BTW on the Razor. That is their position 1, so position 1 Razor. And then
versus a Earthshaker Snapfire lane. I don't think it's too bad.
Yeah,
I mean, a little bit of protection. He's ranged. If he gets caught up, then who's laning with him? Clockwork or Llama, did you say?
I can't actually remember which one's their 4 and which one's their 5. I would imagine it's the Monkey King, just because Clockwork does like to get a little bit of items on him, so it makes more sense to run Clock as a 4. He also just makes more sense to pair in the off lane as well.
Well, we are heading into the match. I will mention the sponsors right now because this AEL University League wouldn't be possible without them. First up, we got Chatime, so fresh iced tea. I love Chatime, to be honest, but try the new range today at your local store. Chatime is the fastest growing iced tea franchise in Australia. There are over 120 Chatimes tea breweries within the commitment to quality ingredients and mix-ins, flair for innovative flavor combinations, and brew nothing teas. We've got Predator as well, so they conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. They're a gaming PC partner of the AELI, conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming. They put power into precision into your hands, elevate your gaming experience in every way with quality and performance. So thanks to Predator for that one. AOC is our third sponsor, the best viewing experience. AOC is a global leader in monitor display technology. For more than 50 years, they've delivered an exceptional viewing experience to millions of loyal customers worldwide. Today, the company offers a wide selection of stylus monitors for home, office, gaming, which is what we are interested in for sure. Indomie, feed your game. I think every gamer probably lives off this. Try out any of their new flavors today. So Indomie noodles are made from carefully selected ingredients, the best quality flour and fresh spices from natural resources of Indonesia, giving it a unique and delicious taste. A little bit of a scuffle going on here. I'll finish that in a second. Scatterblast will slow them off, but Hasbulla is getting caught up at the moment. Jingu and Gubala is going to get that first kill here. Oh my gosh, this is a very big scuffle. Nice Fisher here. He's actually had to level that first up then, which might affect his laning phase, but he's able to protect the rest of his team. It looks like there might be a third kill. Yes, there is. They want more. Slain. It's going to go down to Llama. Plasma clips the edge of him, and Billy Brawler gets the kill there. I'll just finish off. Rig is our last sponsor as well, What It Takes to Win. They develop headsets and deliver superior audio for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels. So join the Rig team and enhance your gaming experience. Oh, how was that first fight? What do you take away from that?
There's definitely a bit of a scuffle. As you mentioned, not ideal for the Shaker to be skilling Fisher at level 1, especially when, he's playing into someone like Clock who wants to get into his face. Obviously, Enchant Totem is going to be a lot nicer there at not only securing the range creeps, but just in general being able to deal with the Clock that's just running at you with the very assault.
Llama was being a little bit annoying, but he didn't manage to block the pull because Slane was able to push him back, so now he's just going to hang around and try to stop it. But it means that Hasbulla is getting pretty badly harassed by Billy here. 5 stacks already. They're going to turn that if they can. Might be another kill, actually. Looks like it will be.
Yeah, so the thing about Phantom Lancer is obviously he has like one of the highest like level 1 agility stats in the game. So in general, you know, he has very high base damage, very high armor, which makes laning against PL as physical damage dealers kind of annoying because he's very difficult to kill, very tanky. But Billy the Brawler, you know, Firefly, Sticky Napalm, able to just do tons of that magic damage to him and melt through his health bar like it is absolute butter.
He's picked up a stick now, but unfortunately he did die first. So both Jakiro also has a stick too, so Slane's gonna try and hang around there, see if he can pick up the sticky napalm. And Llamas, I mean, he's just giving vision all around the map.
Yeah. Again, it's interesting that they did take the Zeus into Ember matchup because Zeus does kind of struggle here. Obviously, Flame Shield, very good against Zeus. His nuke basically just gets negated by it. Just grab yourself a stick against Zeus, which I imagine he'll be getting at some point. Here it is on the courier, on the way. And then once he does grab that for himself, Gubala is going to have a very difficult time at melting down this Ember. Or is he even going to get his stick? That's the real question.
Not sure. Ember's doing pretty well. Has his. They both have really early bottles, probably from that early scuffle. In terms of last hits, they're very evenly matched as well. Who would have a little bit more ganky potential? I guess the Ember would if he can head bottom or top to pressure.
Yeah, it's definitely Ember. He does have, you know, more mobility than Zeus. He has
Bella. Oh no, this looks disastrous for him. Doppelganger will purge for the moment, but it's only a matter of time before he might just fall. Killing spree for the Batrider here.
Yeah, no ice path available for Slane to stop that one from happening.
And bottom lane, we've got Cogs catching up with Hit. And I think actually Chili will fall here. He did save his core. He used the cookie to get Earthshaker out, but sacrificed himself there.
Yeah, and BTW, I mean, we mentioned this. Razor definitely has a great time against Earthshaker, and this is kind of the big issue that Earthshaker 3 has. You know, we've seen Earthshaker 3 struggle in this position in TI. He just has a terrible laning phase. Like, he doesn't have a whole lot to offer. He can't Fisher a ton because of its mana cost, even with Soul Ring available on Sloth Tofu. And, you know,
I feel like he's one of the harder 3s to play because he needs both levels and farm. It's not like he can just sit back and relax or just right click. So he can't have a tri-lane because he won't get enough levels, and he can't have no farm because he won't get any items. So you're right, it's pretty hard to play.
Yeah, exactly, which is why a lot of teams have been playing him as a 2, because it lets you do exactly both those things. But then, you know, obviously if you're playing Earthshaker into something like the Zeus here, he's going to have a very rough time. He's not going to be able to touch the Zeus for the most part, and Zeus is just going to be able to poke him down and just have an absolute, you know, free farm of a lane for the most part. So Link's barely getting out of the Thunder God's wrath there, but yeah, no, you're definitely right. But so because Zeus is in the mid lane, they did have to throw the Earthshaker off into the off lane here as a 3. But now he's against Razor. You know, we mentioned this in the draft phase. Static Link going to be very good against this hero at just making him not do a whole lot, pressure him off a lot of the farm in this bottom side Radiant lane.
I'd say Gubala is probably winning mid at the moment. He got a little bit of damage off. He's a level ahead for now. Did you say Ellen? What do I call him?
Lincolns, yeah.
What do I call this? Lincolns, okay. A little bit ahead, but obviously he's now got time to catch up. Going for, what's the build here for Lincoln's? Just generic bots? Oh no, Slane up top right now, getting jumped on by Billy, by Llama. He's gonna fall, giving the kill over to the Coscore.
Expecting a fight. How disappointing.
And we just lost our ES bottom as well. MBTW, he's chasing, he wants more, they need to be careful. Go to south though, to get his health back.
He's just going to salve up. I mean, there is going to be scaling problems on this UOW. Goodness.
Yeah, didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah, I'm sure the snap didn't either, but yeah, there's going to be scaling issues, obviously, on this UOW lineup. They do have a PL, an Ember, and a Shaker that they're playing against, and when those heroes come online, it'll be very difficult to play, but we've got a bit of a scuffle up top side here.
Yep, Billy Brawler lost a bit of health. They're going to turn their sights onto Slane. Billy's going to have to back off though for the moment. He has some stick charges, but he's already used them. And they don't need to sacrifice their life at the moment, especially if he can just regen quickly.
Yeah, so Hasbulla acknowledging that this is a very difficult lane. He's going to go for the treads early, grab himself that extra bit of stats. So this is going to like hurt Hasbulla, definitely. Having to go for, you know, the full wand, also go for the treads. He has a circlet in his inventory, which I'm not sure if he's going to be building into anything, but...
Double rotation top. Lincolns is in the fight. Zeus is coming along too. Gubala might just be a little bit too late to save this monkey. Thunder God's Wrath, able to be dodged actually by Lincoln's Remnant, but they do take out Slane in the meantime. Hasbulla's back under the tower. He might fall if they get another right click to hit him. They're chasing, and they do manage to get him. So both mids rotated then, but it definitely was in the favor of Radiant.
Yeah, Billy the Brawler barely coming out on top here. You can see XP change in the favor of UOW, same with the golds.
Yeah.
Really, it is just Gubala carrying these fights with the damage. Look at that 2,000 to his name. Gubala is probably the best mid in the tournament. If I was to just, you know, if you were forced to, or if I was forced to just pick one that I think is the best mid player in the tournament, I would say Gubala. It's either him or Reem. Definitely those two are sort of in their own league, which is why the UOW Giga Chatterlade games are always so fun to watch. But I think last time they did play, it was Gubala that ended up winning most of the mid exchanges. But Reem certainly did give him a run for his money on a few occasions.
I think Lincoln's has done too badly either, but Gubala has managed to get, I think, most of the runes in this instance, which is unfortunate for the Ember Spirit. At least he's able to go home. Kid has found out Chill. He went for... I don't know why he was up there, possibly trying to get rid of Stack. The Cox is going to disengage for the moment. It looks like Loth is going to get turned on as well. Kid, no spells, but he's just going to create some space, and that was definitely not the place to Echo Slam. Didn't quite work. Oh my gosh, the damage, the suction. 52 just stolen. Static Link.
And Davai Lama just doing things as the 4 this game. Running around the map.
Killing couriers.
Radiant's courier.
Oh, this is Everwood, never mind.
Yeah, so this is Lincoln's is definitely having a bad game. You know, he's 20 CS behind at 8 minutes into the game. It's not where you want to be. You see Gubala coming in here with his DD. So much damage.
Yeah. Not super ideal. Oh, he just picked up a ward as well. Level 9. Going for the Aether Lens first up. Probably rotate top soon enough and push Sloth and Chill out. Sloth has been forced to go top as well. Nice. Cookie. Top of Slane. Should I say Billy? And Llama's giving some vision too. In comes Lincoln's though. Might turn it on to Monkey King. Both supports are finding themselves in the middle of the fight. Llama needs to run for it if he can. Thunder God's Wrath does a little bit. Eye pass won't be enough, but Chill and Sloth are caught up inside the Cox for the moment, and Gubala's on a killing spree. Double kill. Can he do more against these guys? No mana.
You go down there. That's gonna be really, really nice for the left, right, good night lineup here. Lincoln's picking up a massive shutdown onto the Zeus. Gonna always be. He's gonna be nice.
Gold. What's he building out of that? This dragon. Maybe a 4-star. I reckon 4-star's not too bad. Glimmer could be okay. Magic resistance, but I think Force probably utility overall.
You could go the Force. It's good against Clockwork. Obviously, that item kind of counters the hero. But yeah, Glimmer is also going to be quite nice against another couple of their heroes. So we'll have to wait and see. Glimmer does kind of get countered by Static Link because you can still see the target when they're invisible if they're linked. So
yeah, same with the Zeus, but it's a little bit of magic resistance at the moment, I guess. Especially against Billy.
It's interesting they've actually rotated the Earthshaker up towards the safe lane here against Billy.
I feel like that's a hard lane for him to do though.
Let's try to put Hasbulla down into the bot side. I mean, it is a free lane right now. There's no one there, so it's going to give their PL some free farm at the cost of a big fight.
Yep, and a fight here. Wukong's command. Trying to do a bit of damage on the top of the Sloth, but Slane and Sloth are able to get back. Billy, Lasso will connect. He's going to drag him up, and we have been joined by MBT. There's the kisses coming through as well. They do take out Sloth. The kisses might have the reach. Not quite, but there is a sleight of fist to clear up the Razor. 1 for 2 for the moment. Ubala wants Lincoln's though. He's fine. We're gonna see a cut here. Kid? Oh no. They're just hanging around, trying to cut the waves and pressure the tower a little bit. Oh, hook shot though. Cogs will be in as well. Remnant forward from Lincoln's. The damage, nice scatter blast on top of the head. Ooh, that's a big kill. Gubala will turn around and join the fights. They've taken out Chill for the moment. A lot of damage. Echo Slam, well, not quite enough, but I mean, it took out Billy at least. He's gonna die regardless.
Sloth Tofu finding Kid and Billy the Brawler at the end of that fight. That's going to be good. Kills on your Shaker is always going to be nice in terms of getting you closer to this Blink Dagger. You know, he's about 1k away from it now. Once he gets that online, this is going to be much better because you notice he's been having a lot of defensive Echo Slams, but once he's able to start going for those offensive Echo Slams, start setting up these big macro pies for the Chikiro, this game will turn a little on its head. But right now they're looking to grab this top lane tier 1, open up the map a little bit. Gonna send Batrider down to the bot side to make sure Hasbulla can't trade the objectives. I actually have a bit of solo kill threat onto this PL as well.
You would try. I'm wondering, the choice to go Blink Dagger over Aghanims. I feel like Aghs on Sloth would be better because of all of the electricity getting pumped out by Gubala. Like, the Arc Lightning might just clip you and then you can't blink with the side. I don't know. It feels like it could be good to have a Aghanims here.
Yeah, he's also a 3 with very greedy mid laner and a very greedy safe laner. And Aghanims is 4,200 compared to Blink, which is only 2,250. So it's almost twice as expensive.
Doesn't want to play the long game. They are falling a bit behind in net worth. Here, Llama is just giving great vision amongst the trees. Wukong's command set on top of both players. Sloth's going to stun for the moment, but he's still up there. Great vision. Chili's going to find Kid on the back lines. Ooh, nice ice path. Blocking him up, and UOW is going to leave that engagement. So, it's a good pickup for RMIT.
Players are grouped around the top side right now. Hasbulla back to farming the side lane, doing what he does best. He's trying to get that diffusal online ASAP. It's 14 minutes into the game and he doesn't have his diffusal yet. He doesn't have his item online. Which obviously you can attribute to the fact that he did have to go Wraith Band, Treads, and Wand to survive his lane.
Sloth. That's unfortunate. Sloth's so close to his blink, he just keeps getting pushed back. Slaying falls as well. They managed to find out the Snapfire, and that's pretty much a team wipe as it goes. Lincolns needs to be careful trying to chase a hasted Gubala, but they're just going to turn on his head and double kill for the mid lane.
And Gubala is absolutely massive right now. We can see he is going to be 1,000 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter. Once he gets that online and starts having Nimbus available, these fights are going to be all but impossible. I mean, looking at the graph here, the win probability right now is just shooting up for UOW. It's absolutely ridiculous. EPs are coming in though.
They do want to contest it. I believe Kisses aren't quite available, but he's going to quickly forward anyway and try and take up Llama. The fish will be there to block off the chase, or will it? Nope, they just chase around. Sloth is now inside the cogs. Slane's trying to defend him as much as he can, but I mean, Echo Slam will be enough to clear up Kid for the moment, but Slane's going to get punished by the Jingu. And MBTW found a double kill there. Probs. Yeah, I think you'd leave that tower. I just think it's a little bit too scary to try and fight. You need some more high up vision to find out Llama if you can, but unfortunately all Llama has to do is just jump along and de-ward. The pro about being a monkey king support.
Yeah, I mean, if you are left, right, good night in this situation, your only saving grace is getting this Blink Dagger online on your Shaker, getting your PL some items, and if the game is allowed to go that late, then maybe you guys might stand a little bit of a chance. Because Hezbollah, you know, definitely this team is having a rough one, but you know, he's still sitting okay. You know, 0-4-1. I've seen worse position ones at this stage of the game when they're 8k gold behind 16 minutes. So.
Yeah, what's he? Defusal? Do you think he'll go? I don't think Manta's worth it. What do you reckon next? A Heart or Skadi or something like that? Mantis is gonna get demolished by Zeus.
No.
It's not bad against maybe a static link. Actually, I don't even break static link, does it?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I haven't seen Razor in quite a while. He's a hero that definitely does not get picked up very often, but when he does, you know, he seems to be picked up in these games where he has great effects. But I personally like don't know all the micro interactions between static link and what breaks it, what doesn't. I'm pretty sure Doppelganger does. I'm not entirely sure if Manta does.
Smoke from RMIT. They might find Llama here. He's running the right way. Slane has popped the smoke. And Llama seems to be safe for the moment, especially if he just holds tight. He's dropping down to the bottom lane. Please pick away.
Manta Style, as an item, you know, normally picked up by these illusion cores early, mostly because, you know, you want the stats it gives more than anything. You know, it gives a ton of agility. Like the active is nice, like the active is really good, but you know, it gives a ton of agility, move speed, attack speed. It just allows these illusion heroes to just pump out right clicks, pump out stats. You know, PL attack speed and agility is usually going to be better than outright DPS, because the more attacks you can put out, the more illusions you're going to spawn, which, you know, turns out to be more DPS than just buying actual DPS items. So, you know, for that reason, that's normally why you see it second. But, you know, you are right, he's going for the Shard here queued up instead.
Yeah. They found Gubala, but the Nimbus is there to disengage. Kiss is coming out. Nice Fisher damage for the moment, but he has been blocked off in the meantime. Lincolns needs to run away there. Sloth looks like he might just... Oh, one more right click. No, Kid is chasing him pretty hard. They found Gubala in the meantime, and they've also killed off the Earthshaker. Anyone else getting chased? No, but it's going to disengage here. That was a bit like, it's not doing well for RMIT. They kind of wasted a bit of time down in that bottom corner of the map, and they found a kill on Gubala at least, but they paid for a core and a support.
Yeah, so this is going to be very scary stuff for Lincolns right now. Davai Llama.
Billy has Lasso. He's going to try to go for it, but I think the tower's going to kill him. Might be enough though, the burn damage. No, not quite. But they did find Chill in the meantime, trying to deward with Ben.
Yep, Davai Llama doing what Monkey does best.
Nimbus kill in base. Very nice.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, Davai Llama. Davai means go in Russian, doesn't it?
I don't know.
It does. Davai Llama.
I don't speak Russian.
Nor do I. They're just some phrases, you know? Some Dota phrases.
I do know that
Hezbollah. Oh, he's turning his sights into Kid though, but Llama is there. Nice hook shot to silence him up. Who has the silence? Oh, he's got an Orchid.
Yeah,
I was Monkey King.
I was going to talk about this. Davai Llama has gone for the Orchid after grabbing his Orb of Corruption, and that's definitely very, very scary if you're the Ember Spirit. Anybody who plays Ember knows how terrifying Orchid is, just in general, as an item. You get Orchided as Ember and suddenly you just can't play the game for however many seconds.
BKB hopped to the mid lane, MBTW, a little bit of damage going on to... Nice Nimbus kill though, onto Chili. They want to chase him, Remnant forward from Lincolns. Wasn't able to get the Syrian Chains. A lot of spells are being missed at the moment, but like you said, there is a silence on Lincoln's head. He should be fine for the moment. Yules is there with Pong's command, a little bit of control. We'll be able to Remnant back. He's landed on top of Gubala though. Not a worse place. Not a worse place to Remnant, really.
Yeah, and we're just seeing, you know, the effects of being able to Orchid Ember Spirit. It's very scary. Especially if you do not have any way to get rid of it. He's building one right now, trying to grab himself the Yules for the Dispel. Well, one of the uses of Yules in this context. But also, you know, just try and BKB and just hope that they don't Orchid you when your BKB is down. But It's also a very expensive item, and at the same time, you know, isn't going to do a whole lot against the very consistent magic damage output presented by the Bat Rider and the Zeus.
It's going to be quite hard for him to play Billy. Needs to be careful. Fisher misses for the moment, but Remnant forward though. Lincolns has found a target. Billy, nice jump on top. The Nimbus won't be able to do anything for the moment. What do RMIT users have to do here then? I guess wait for their team fights, try and save Hezbollah as much as possible because they're 12k behind in net worth.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of their towers.
Once Hezbollah does get this Manta style, they do have a bit of a chance, but until then, you know, he's just not going to be super useful in fights. He's not going to be doing the most damage, but, you know, he is a little bit scary now. He can definitely do something, but he's not going to be, you know, that position 1 carry to win you guys this game.
Much appreciated.
He's going to get to the stage where he's just unkillable. Like,
Yeah.
well, almost ran into a smoke gank then, but they will redirect onto Kid. They see him. They've got the Fisher, they've got the lock-up stun as well. MBTV wants to come forward. Nice Nimbus as well. Cookie didn't quite connect, but it did stun up MBTV for the moment. Pops BKB, there's the Echo, but it doesn't do enough damage. Monkey will fall though. And yeah, so will majority of the other supports. Chili, see you later.
Yeah, that was something. He echoed MBTW. It was like a one-man echo, but MBTW had his BKB going, so it didn't hit MBTW. So he just echoed nobody, basically.
They keep going through these ganks and it turns horribly on their heads. Now the team wiping themselves. At least Hezbollah was able to get the bottom tower. A bit closer to his Manta, but oh gosh, he's still quite a way off.
Yeah, he's definitely quite a whiles away. Doesn't even have his Yasha completed. And I mean, PL isn't the fastest farmer in general. You know, illusions don't last a long time. Back in the day, PL illusions, you know, used to last much longer than they do now, and you used to be able to, you know, farm a wave, get a bunch of illusions, and then send your illusions to go farm the jungle while you push it on the wave. But you know, PL got reworked many years ago, and no longer that sort of a play style.
Oh, chill. Cogs as well. I think there's an earn charge there too. Nice little boundless strike, and the monkey will jump on top of his head, but full stuff. Boogie away.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ah, there you go, Thunder Wrath. Double kill. Both supports taken out.
Yeah, nice Thunder God's Wrath by Gubala. And I mean, we look at the net worth here. He is just sitting well on top. You look at the win probability. It's just UOW is almost in the corner. The Dota 2 graph client is having to create space just to show how dominant they are.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Kid's been playing pretty well lately. He's managed to get a few hook shots off. He's paid for it a few times, but the cogs have really made the team points work. Can University Wollongong, they can't really rush that fast, can they though?
I mean, they can. They have Static Link, so
it's not too bad.
Static Link is pretty good at taking Roshan. It was Battery Assault, actually. Battery Assault, underrated ability in terms of how much damage it can do to a single target when it's isolated. Also mini stuns Roshan, which is annoying.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Please tell me what happened.
You know, just Davai Lama doing what he's been doing all game, which is just finding a target, jumping down, silencing them with the Orchid, so, you know, Lincoln's on the Ember isn't able to run away, and then all she wrote.
All she wrote, and that's going to leave Rush open. I don't think the Dire can contest this at all, so there's no point flying back here. They've got no outposts, but they are looking to smoke, I dare say. They want to try and contest Roshan.
Yeah.
You've also got their sticky napalm. They do take it pretty quickly.
Sticky napalm is pretty good. Melting this one down. You can't actually static link. Only heroes. Nimbus as well. Definitely not the fastest Roche team, but you know, 25 minutes into the game, you're this ahead. You'll be able to take it eventually. Worst case, the enemy heroes come along to try and stop you. You can just kill them.
Hey,
yeah.
We see you. Roche pit. We see you good.
I like that voice line. The hey, we can see you in the Roche pit.
Yeah, just gonna back off here. Looks like the Frat Good Knight smoking up in their triangle.
Radiant are scanned.
Can they really do it? I think MBTW looks kind of scary with a extra life in his pocket. If they can get the jump, like a good Fisher Echo stun combo, but in terms of damage output, I don't think it's overly big. There's no right-click damage on Lincoln's. He's pretty behind in farm. He's going more of a magic build, kind of by the looks of it, and Hasbulla still needs to get his ultimate orb, and if he buys it, he's not going to have buyback for the high ground, so I don't know what RMIT can really do here.
Ember does have his Yules. It's on the way. Unless his courier gets killed. Okay, it doesn't. Very good. He's gonna have Yules. That's gonna be pretty significant. Big lasso here, though.
A lasso as well, yep. That's not what you want, and that's possibly game losing as well.
Gonna... How much gold lost by Hasbulla? 267.
Yeah.
Away from his Manta. So that is... pretty yikes.
It is hard. I think he might have died anyway, but a little bit of Kisses damage might take out the first life of MBTW. He's got his BKB ready and available though if he needs to. Dodges the ice path, but I don't think he needed to do it then. Oh. Nice Yules, blocks a bit of damage there as well, but the Nimbus will be able to pick up. I think the Plasma actually got Lincoln's then.
Definitely not a nice Yules.
Ooh, hookshot kid, backlines.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Definitely not what, sorry?
Definitely not a nice Yules. He uses himself up with Davai Lama on the trees. Nimbus comes down on top of him and
Yeah.
lands. Absolute rough one for Lincoln's there. Not much he can do. I don't know. I think if he didn't Yules and just ran away, he might have been fine. But
Ooh,
big damage.
That's a... What was that? Is that a hookshot? No, that was a rocket flare.
It's Thunder God's Wrath for the most part in terms of damage. It's
Bit of
disgusting.
rocket flare after.
Are under attack.
Alrighty. Yep, 21k net worth. I think it's gonna be very hard for Dire to come up from this one, but never say never. Echo Slam's available.
Dire's middle barracks.
Hasbulla's almost up as well. They have turned, they've found out the Ember Spirit though. Lincoln has heals himself for the most part. Wilkins Command will jump on top of him. And BTW has the BKB up ready though. Okay, no one's died. A lot of spells were cast then.
Loth Tofu is definitely playing the way you'd expect, you know, sitting back in these fights, trying to look for a big Blink Echo Slam play, because it's really their only way in, and if he blinks in and misses it, well, then they just lose, so...
Yeah, he's not had a great time with his Echoes as of yet, but there's still a chance it can really pick him up. That's probably, you know, that can help help the Radiant become complacent, but Davai Lama, he wants to show force, and BTW is going to follow up as well, but they're going to disengage, go back to high ground. They've got no Zeus, they've got no Batman.
Monkey is so annoying. These Monkey
He's gonna
4
take this
builds
one.
are just so obnoxious. The ones that just like focus on just being on the trees at all times and just jump down, will like hit you with some items and then jump away again.
Going for left near now as well. Very annoying.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
What do you build as Lincoln's? Like, you just have to go to BKB, but does he have buyback? No. They can just try and avoid fights for the moment.
Dire's bottom
Push
tower
out, maybe
is
get
under
a
attack.
pick off onto to the Davai Lama, but they can't even see him in the trees.
BKB on Lincoln.
Gubala and okay, how did Gubala get up there? I think he was put up there. Oh, Lincoln, sub lane. Remnants back. Nice little boundless strike too. He will survive for the moment. Is there a Nimbus available? Not quite.
No, he used the Nimbus already, fortunately. Gonna be able to have it up. Heal. But, yeah, Lincoln's very lucky that he got that Yules off on time. Didn't end up getting hit by Orchid. Yeah, he got hit by sure, but you see them sieging here.
Dire's bottom tower is under
They are not too highly contested for the moment, but Billy is falling quite low. The kisses are on top of him, and they might keep going, but there's a nice hook onto the backline soon. Chili's falling low. They do take down Slothfood. He still has buyback. He's going to do so. Truck forward. Wukong's command, Finders 2, Boundless Strike as well. Fisher to disengage for the moment.
tower is under attack.
But you got to regen on the Zeus, so he's happily casting spells.
Dire's bottom tower has
So
fallen.
only one death there and one buyback. We want to see this Echo Slam change the world. Fisher. Divine Llama's very alone for the moment. Echo Slam kind of catches two of them. Billy almost falls low, but he gets lassoed, and they're going to exchange it. Onto Divine Llama does fall. Chiller falls as well. Double buyback from the Dire. Radiant falling low a little bit, but Gabala is giving so much damage off. So with Billy, Remnant forward. Is he going to try and... Yes, Lincoln finds a kill. Can he do another one? Doesn't quite have the damage, and that's going to be possibly Rampage. No. Gabala will die there. Doesn't get the Rampage.
Denied the
GG
5,
is full.
Pete. What can I say? Definitely unfortunate there, but yeah, this is just game over. Good game is called. It's going to be first map going over to UOW Esports.
You did say at the start that they were the favourites going into this, so we might just see them pick up a 2-0 in this best of 3, round 2 low brackets.
Yeah.
So, what do you reckon? Do you think it was a draft issue? Do you think they were just outplayed? How could left, right, Goodnight Esports have improved that?
Sort of a drafting issue, sort of outplayed. Gubala obviously just gapping mid because he's just the better mid laner. You saw how much he was up in farm. And again, Ember shouldn't have that bad of a lane against Zeus, I don't think. I think Ember, you know, if he just does go for the 0-4-4 sort of build, is able to just be very, very obnoxious. You know, he has the Flame Guard to be able to deal with Zeus, and he has Sleight of Fist to be able to poke him. Once you get the Orb of Corruption, maybe some raindrops. You can be pretty oppressive in that lane. Zeus, you know, he does have mana issues if he wants to try and trade into you seriously, because he'll have to expend, you know, quite a few spells to get through Flame Guard, and then, you know, more to deal actual damage to you, whereas, you know, you can just kind of use 1 or 2, but I mean, that's not to say Ember doesn't have mana issues himself, but, you know, the lane can definitely be a little bit even, but I would say, like, Ember, you know, if he plays well, can definitely win that one, but Gubala putting on an absolute clinic there, whopping
60,000 damage.
Whopping Lincoln's very, very heavily in terms of, you know, his net worth. You know, even as we mentioned, 8 minutes into the game, 20 CS lead already. But as well as that, you know, there was also drafting issues. Obviously, Shaker 3 does have problems, especially when you run it against Razor and Clock, which is a very, very scary safe lane. Yeah, Shaker is he does have problems when he's playing against those sorts of things, because normally he does have a pretty rough time in lane as it is, and then when you put him against something that's even more aggressive than he's normally equipped to deal with, he's just going to get washed over basically. So not too surprising how that one turned out.
Well, that was just game 1, and it is best of 3. So are we having a 5-minute break before the next one?
Yep, we'll throw it over to a quick little break, folks. Don't go anywhere. And of course, thank you so much for tuning in to the AEL Uni League for Season 2. When we come back, we're going to be looking at Game 2 between UOW Esports and Left, Right, Good Night from RMIT. Welcome back to RMIT versus RMIT Live Very Good Night versus the UOW Esports for the AEL Uni League Season 2. We're here in a lower bracket game. This is going to be a exciting one. Obviously, we saw a very dominant Game 1 from UOW, and Game 2 looking to be, either in the same fashion for UOW winning themselves the best of 3 series, or if Left Right Good Night is going to be able to take this one to a Game 3, I'm going to be interested to see. Whoever wins this is going to be going up against UOM Looney Melb, and whoever loses is going to unfortunately be sent packing. So a lot on the line here. Looney Melb as well going to be quite the competition, so this is going to be a bit of a proving ground for both these teams. But if this game is going to be anything like we saw Game 1, I'm expecting UOW to have a bit of a wash. Once again, I'm Kadius, joined over the casting desk by Wombat, and you just sat through that fairly lengthy Game 1 where UOW showed themselves to be quite the defending champions that they are. What are your thoughts coming in Game 2?
I'd like to see RMIT get a bit more of a chance to actually have team fights there. Zavai Lama as a Monkey King on the 4 literally gave them no room to fight Wukong's command. He had vision on them all the time. So maybe ban out the monkey or pick it up for himself. Who has first pick here is RMIT, so he doesn't get banged. I feel like that's something you want to get. I would like to see Hezbollah also behind, because it just felt like he wasn't given a chance that game. Tiny's made it through, actually, through this first ban phase, and so has Monkey King. You see Tiny picked up. So maybe RMIT will have a chance with this hero.
Yeah, Tiny is very good. Very good hero right now. Can be played mid, can be played position 1. Very different play styles, but nevertheless, he has a lot of flexibility. He's good in pretty much everywhere that he is flexible.
Yeah.
Very solid at the moment. Also quite good in the meta.
Yeah, I just saw actually that Monkey King was banned, so at least you have Tiny. Make it interesting. They picked up a Tidehunter, obviously good resist against the Tiny with your Kraken Shell, but can he still get cleaned up? He probably can if the Tiny gets ahead.
Tide's a bit of a tricky one for Tiny to deal with. Kraken Shell isn't the biggest problem that Tiny has against Tidehunter, but Tidehunter is considered the quintessential Tiny counter when it comes to position 3s. Because of Anchor Smash. Anchor Smash gives you base damage reduction, and because of how Grow works, it basically just reduces all of Tiny's damage, because all of his damage comes from Grow, which is base damage. So,
yeah.
Therefore, Tiny can't play against Tide all too well. He pretty much just wants to avoid Tide. But Tide can't kill the Tiny super easily himself either, so we'll have to wait and see. But either way, Rubik going to get picked up as the position 4, you'd imagine, for Left Right Good Night. Makes sense. You see Ravage and Finger of Death on the table. Think, alright, this is a good Rubik game. We'll pick this one up.
Even any sort of stun combo is good for Rubik, so yeah, I like that pick. Lion's good, instant Hex if you see a Tiny running at you. Ideally, how you deal with the Tiny is if you're a supporter, is you just disable him and run away, or disable him and get your team to come help. So that is a pretty solid pick all round. It's probably a line 5 as well, but we could see it flexed as a Lion Tidehunter lane, which is hard to deal with, I dare say.
Yes, you probably want something that's going to be able to deal with Tiny running around invisible, because he is more than likely going to be going Silver Edge if he has to deal with Tidehunter. Just disabling Kraken Shell is pretty solid. As we said, Kraken Shell, not the thing that makes Tidehunter scary for Tiny. It is Anchor Smash, but you're not going to kill him if you don't get through Kraken Shell anyway, as pretty much any right clicker. So getting rid of that with Silver Edge is going to be something on the table for Tiny here. Usually go for the Silver Edge or the Blink, and it depends on the enemy comp you're facing on which one you go. But looking at the kind of immobile sort of heroes that we're dealing with for UOW, Silver Edge certainly seeming a little bit better. They're going to ban away the Night Stalker though, wanting to take away the strong position 3s that are going to be able to just run at the Lion and kill him if he is in that 5 role.
So they do reckon that Tiny is core 1 or 2?
Yeah, you don't really see Tiny as a support all too much, and Rubik normally wants, a little bit of farm. Rubik without, Blink Aghanims is not nearly as useful as when he has those online in fights, so not the best 5. You usually do want to run him as a bit of a 4, and Tiny 5 is also not super great, because you do normally want to, be running around and roaming and getting a bit of farm for yourself, so Tiny Core does make more sense here than, try to play him.
I was thinking maybe a plus 3 with a Rubik in lane, but I feel like he would do better in the mid or core position. I do like Tiny 1. I feel like it's quite nice. Against a Tidehunter Lion, it's not amazing, like you said with the Anchor Smash, but the Avalanche will be able to push back any advance that they make on him.
Yeah.
Mid, I think.
Tiny 3, not super seen ever since you know, the what was it called, craggy skin. You know, his old third passive, which you know, made him very annoying to kill for right clickers, was kind of what made him decent. You know, as a position 3. You know, once the position 1 got a few items, you could still kind of, you know, be annoying and then run around the map clearing. More so now, you know, he is seen as the position 1s, position 2, sometimes position 4, just going for, you know, the 4-4-0 build, running around avalanche tossing people, but you know, have to wait and see.
Radiant team pick.
They are going to pick up a Winter Weapon. Nice spell again for Rubik to steal if he wants. What is the Winter for? Just a good control mechanism? Anyone who's standing next to Tiny dies?
Yeah, he's just a decent 4 at the moment. You know, you're picking him up there because, you know, again, just solid in general.
Yeah.
And then Lion, you know, also quite solid. Going to be scaling fairly well. Tiny does, you know, sort of fall off compared to some other position 1s. I imagine you'd want to pick something like that for, you know, MBTW this game.
Who played very well last game as the Razor, so should turn up again. I reckon. I'm trying to wonder if they're going to go for a core pick or if they're going to just support here. You're going to start missing out on a lot of bans. Like once the next 4 bans are, you've got to really deal with whatever you like. So yeah, support that could deal with Oracle. Yep, very nice. Winter's Curse, False Promise, able to save his teammate. And Purge anything that is chasing. Drow Ranger, quite a nice sort of pick up there as well.
Yeah, the Drow's interesting because this kind of means it's probably a 2 Tiny now that you've picked that one up. Tiny is just as good as a 2. We've seen, I think we've seen Lincoln's play it. I know we've seen Reem play it this season. It is good. Usually just want to put a few more points into Avalanche instead of just maxing the tree like you do in position 1. Just so you have a little bit of extra gank potential from the mid lane roll. You're also able to, you know, wave clear a little bit faster. But yeah, Drow, you pretty much never see Drow 2, which is weird because I remember there was a time where Drow 2 was like standard, but no, she is a little bit of a position 1 at the moment. She just doesn't have the wave clear in her kit to really make herself a solid 2 anymore. She just clears very slowly. She just gets shoved in by all the meta 2s and doesn't have the best of time at stopping them from running around the map, causing chaos.
There's a few counters to Drousel in the mix as well. Like, you've got your Razor again. If MVTW feels like playing that hero, he's already warmed up his fingers.
Yeah, the thing about Drow as well is a lot of her DPS is bonus damage, so she's kind of the complete opposite of Tiny. And therefore Anchor Smash from Tidehunter isn't going to be doing a whole lot. Not only that, but like if you are playing against Tidehunter, you're able to have, you know, the Gust, which is going to be incredibly good. But we were just talking about picking up a late game carry that's able to go over the top of Tiny, something that's a little bit durable, difficult to kill. Spectre definitely fitting the bill there.
Yeah, that is a late game. Is it pretty standard now to go the Shard, the Shadow Step? Is that Shard or Ags?
To be honest, I haven't seen a whole lot of Spectre like as of super late. Normally when people think of like the really like late game carries, it isn't Spectre that we see all too often. You know, normally is things like, you know, the Terrorblade getting picked up with the meta.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just kind of nice to see Spectre back in the game because she was like, her ulti was just so long, but the I think it's the Aghanim's add-on that gives her that Shadow Step and is able to pick up the Rubik or Oracles on the sidelines, or even Drows. It's really pretty good against Drow. See how they go there. Hopefully Tiny's not too much of a bother for them, but Winter Wyvern's there to save the day as opposed to 4 in the end. Can turn fights, can change games even.
Yeah, so the Wyvern was mainly picked up for the Tiny, if it was going Tiny 1, because he does do so much damage, and if you see Tiny pick up a tree, he has Echo Saber, you just walk up, you just curse basically the Rubik or the Oracle, whoever's next to him, and Tiny will just like kill them basically very quickly. So, you know, it just kind of makes it so that Tiny has a bit of a rough lane once the Wyvern 4 does come online. But, you know, now that they're showing, okay, we have a Drow, you're going to be playing against that. Drow not quite having the same explosive damage in the same way.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
So I do like that from Left Right Good Night Esports. I like what they're going for here. Gust, as we mentioned, also a very good tool against the Tidehunter. Also is able to stay out of range of Anchor Smash, unlike Tiny, where Tiny has a very annoying time securing last hits, especially on those range creeps. Usually have to use Avalanche to be able to secure every single range creep, which does mean that the Tiny will run into mana problems. But I think Oracle is nice here as well, having the ultimate available to deal with Lion and Wyvern, and the single target lockdown that they can bring is always going to be great.
Good Night are probably looking for a pulse 3 here, then we reckon. Something that can look to disengage or engage in team fights. We've banned off quite a few. Mag's gone, NS is gone. Sanking? I don't know how that goes.
Remaining.
Yeah, they're looking for a 3 or a 2. I'd be surprised if it was a 2. I think Tiny is a much better 2 than a 3. Just because, again, he does like getting that extra little bit of farm. Doom could be decent. Definitely could be decent. Very good at dealing with things like Lion, things like Wyvern. It's a bit tricky to blind, but he has been picked up as a 3 quite a lot at the moment in TI. Mostly just for Doom, the spell, because it's very good against the current meta. You see the spirits in the mid lane almost like half of all games. There'll be an Ember or a Storm in the middle lane, and you just doom those heroes, and then they just suddenly can't play. So,
yeah, I think I like the Doom pick here, but there's still a few in the mix. They've just banned off a lot. ET, has ET ever picked up the core? Or has he just been solid support the whole time? Like TI.
Dire team pick.
Yeah, ET doesn't really need items. Timber's great here, actually. Yeah, this is a good Timber game. Timber has a... Yeah, it's also the pure damage. Does quite well against things like Spectre.
Yep, so now something to possibly counter the Tiny mid. That's what I think about Timbersaw. He's going to be building the Urn. Winter Wyvern Urn is not a bad pickup.
5 seconds remaining.
Can also go into a core eventually. I'd like to see Winter mid actually, but no, we'll see something I think a bit different for Gubala to play. Actually, Gubala, has he played Winter mid before?
I don't think so. Winter mid's kind of bad though. They nerfed Winter mid pretty heavily. I don't think it's worth playing. I think you would want to pick up the mid pick here last. I'm not too sure what the best counters are for Tiny mid. I can see Sniper being decent, staying at maximum range. Tinker also, very similar sort of hero to Sniper, just wants to sit back, farm, clear the waves. But Tinker also, once he does get his items going, is absolutely disgusting. After his rework, no longer has to, sink all of the money into bots. And we are going to be seeing that one given away. It's actually Sloth Tofu on the Tiny, which means Lincoln's Timbersaw mid. Okay.
Oh, Timbersaw mid. Okay. Cool. So that changes things up a little bit. It is a +3 Tiny, laning with Rubik against a Spectre. So that could be. I mean, it's a lot easier for Tiny, like you said. He doesn't have to worry about Tide mid. Okay, Gubala has picked up Tidehunter versus Timbersaw. How does that matchup go?
I don't think the Timber was picked into the Tinker. I think Tinker was picked into Tiny, and then they just went, okay, this matchup's pretty bad, so let's just go Timber instead. I can understand that. Tiny is, especially in terms of, farming, he pretty much just right-clicks with the trees. Tinker has a laser that makes you not be able to auto-attack anything for quite a long amount of time, so therefore Tiny kind of struggles in terms of farming. Makes it very difficult for him to secure range creeps against Tinker, against Tiny. Whereas Tinker doesn't have those sorts of issues. He's able to use the hook, and he's able to use the the chakrams to be able to farm if he does get lasered. As well as that, reactive armor is just always solid at dealing with the poke. But we are going to be hopping into this game.
We are indeed. Before we see another scuffle like last game, we should head over to the sponsors table. Chatime is our first sponsor for this tournament. They provide fresh iced tea, and they try a new range today at your local store. If you have one near you, I wish I had one near me. Predator, conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. AOC, the best viewing experience on their monitors. Indomie, feature game. Try out any other flavors today. And Rig, what it takes to win. They are headset providers and makers, so they are our sponsors that make the AEL University League happen. And hopefully today's the second game, best of 3 between RMIT and University of Wollongong. So can RMIT bring it back to make it a 1-all? Shall see.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know about their comp. I really do not know about their comp, but I also don't really know about UOW's either. Both of them are very interesting. Again, there's been a very set sort of meta pool at TI, and I mean, Tiny is really the only hero out of these that we've been seeing. I do understand the Tide, because if you're going to be running the Tiny 1, you just pick the Tide 3, and he makes Tiny have an absolute terrible lane.
Well, looks like the Dai didn't actually want to come forward there. University of Wollongong didn't really contest any runes there, so 3 going over to RMIT. We're going to see how they fare in the mid lane. I'll pop up the last hit counter, and maybe Lincoln's going to bring it back. He doesn't really need the right click, so the laser isn't the most important for him. He wants to get the range creep.
Nothing to say.
So wait and see. Again, this is going to be Tide playing against the Drow here, which not a great matchup for Drow. The simple fact that Kraken Shell works, but aggressive level 1, as you know, Wyvern does like to do with the Arctic Burn.
Kid has been trying to defend and stop the boot camp from being blocked, but Jill was able to come through. He didn't get the block, but he did lose his courier and first blood, so pretty good trade overall.
Gonna be rushing the mana boots.
I think it's going to be hard for our MBTW, like as a lane overall. Kid really needs to pull as much as he can. Or do you reckon that's the case, or do you reckon he needs to be aggroing and harassing as much as he can? How do they win this lane top for the Dire?
Yeah, just keeping MBTW as much under tower as possible is probably the play. But again, there's so much kill threat between, you know, Telekinesis and Avalanche Toss from Soft Tofu. Obviously, once you get some points in dispersion, it becomes a little bit easier, but you can see the damage coming through right now. And Kid, unfortunately, Lion is not the best laner, so
He can be if you just go harass. I think he might miss the stack here, unfortunately, which is not great. But Chill missed the stack too. Oh no, it got dewarded, and Kid might be able to pick up that ward in response. So
Lion,
a bit of a win for him.
Lion's pretty, like, not great. Position 5 in lane. You know, he trades laning prowess for being one of the better scaling 5s, just because of how Figure of Death works. You know, as the game goes on, you get more and more stacks, you get more and more damage, but damage coming through from Sloth Tofu is immense. Meanwhile, bot side though.
Yep, they have tried to turn onto Hasbulla as well. Gubala's falling pretty low, but he is tanky. Hasbulla might be able to get some nice shots into him. Slain too, yes. Gets the kill. I think Hasbulla should be fine here. There's Splinter Blast is there. I was gonna say, don't go too close to your pull. Nothing worse than like you're out and then your support comes to help you and they stand too close to you and then you die because Splinter's Blast.
Yeah, Lincoln's going for points in reactive armor, makes a lot of sense. He's still dropping fairly low, has the salve if need be though. You want Billy the Brawler looking to grab that first item, Blink Dagger.
He's got a lot of creeps right now, which is pretty nice for him on the high ground here. Reactive armor level 2, but that laser does take out a lot of damage.
Yeah, the key thing to note about reactive armor is the word armor, which playing against Tinker, not the most helpful thing for his spells. He's gonna do wonders at dealing with all of this right-click poke though, which Tiny would otherwise just have to eat.
Ubala, he's just pushing forward under tower. He's pretty confident. I thought he was gonna be mid, but we obviously sort of trade that.
Why?
I don't think Slane has any chance of doing any damage to this Tidehunter. He's just got to protect Hasbala as much as possible. Looking top. MBTW needs to be kind of careful. There is a tree grab available. Toss. If you can get him back, but just gonna dagger through the trees there. And salve up.
Gonna find this pull. A bolt.
Don't mind if I do.
Jill's doing pretty good here. I mean, kids managed to get a couple of good pulls. Lift as well into the back lines. Avalanche followed by a toss, so they're gonna get the damage off. Still alive for the moment, and they do collect it.
Definitely a lot of kill pressure. That's what we mentioned about Lion. Very squishy. Doesn't really have much in the way of lane phase tools. He pretty much can do nothing but Earth Spike and suck people's mana. Hex has a very, very low duration at level 1. But, you know, Lion, his prowess really is, you know, once he does get the Tranks going, once he does get the Blink Dagger going, running around the map, getting those Blink into the Hex, into Earth Spike, and then finishing off with Finger of Death. Very good ganker, very good scaler.
Good ganker. He's got boots now as well. Lane's getting gone on. He's forced to CP, and he's feeling quite low, but he'll be okay. He just makes space. Well, I was going to say make space for Husbala, but actually Gubal is going to gush here and do a little bit of right-click damage on top of his head. I don't think he's got enough damage to kill, but maybe he does if Husbala stays right back. Winter's Curse? No, sorry. The Splinters. Gush available. He's trying to find Duke, Fog of War. Nice, multicast. Oh, not quite enough. One more last hit. Yep, Husbala turns there. That was unfortunate for Gubala, but I like the effort.
I find it easy to respect you.
I don't know. Hasbula is either 500 IQ or 50 IQ. There's absolutely no in between. I don't know what that was. He was like pathing incorrectly a ton. But
yeah, it's okay. He tried to go on MBTW. He does have Tree Grab, and Rubik's there with the phase bolt. Fade bolt rather, and picks up a kill. He's got the haste rune.
Why does he have a haste rune?
I think he just went down to deny it from Thinker with the bottle. Because you don't, Timbersaw doesn't build bottle really, I guess. Is there any benefit to him building it?
I mean, same sort of benefit that anybody really has from building it, but I think he wants to get this Hood of Defiance that he's building towards right now a little bit more. Gonna do wonders at dealing with, again, all the magic damage that we talked about earlier, because reactive armor, one thing for armor, still has to cop all the magic damage from these missiles. Once he gets the hood though, then he's gonna be very, very annoying to kill. It's gonna be tanky lad.
Harder to deal with for sure. Level 7. Will he look to rotate? Is he really a rotating sort of hero?
Oh yeah.
I think they could definitely pressure MBTW a little bit more. He's finding it hard to get last hits.
He can certainly rotate, obviously with the timber chain. Very good mobility around the map, very good ganking ability as well. And then obviously with reactive armor you can dive incredibly well into towers. Be very tanky, take no damage from the towers once that armor does stack up.
Love to see it. Tiny's a solo now, so we've got Chill has just gone to the Dire jungle trying to, I guess, scout out any stacks maybe, or maybe he's trying to gank mid, but didn't quite work.
Yeah, and BTW
Tiny solo XP.
actually very brave putting 2 points in Spectral Dagger here instead of just trying to get as many in dispersion as possible.
Radiant structures are
Actually, I guess it does make sense. No, you would have needed to put the second point in here to get the last 2 in dispersion. It's better than putting like 1 point in Desolate. Pretty useless in your laning phase. I suppose it does
Maybe
make
he
sense.
wants to do it to escape through the trees or something if they jump on him.
Yeah, he's gonna be grabbing
Oh.
Falcon Blade here. Which, what if he's going the double Falcon Blade build? But Chill, being very cheeky here with
looking
this
mid.
invisibility rune.
Yes, indeed. Fade well, a little bit of damage as well, but Billy's in. The damage. Haunt will be committed as well. Wyvern awake for now, but the rocket doesn't quite connect. It does into Lynx. He's dropping down low, 21 reactive armor, but it doesn't matter if they hit him with one more spell. And there is the laser. So they just killed 2 on the side of UOW. Very cheeky indeed.
Yeah, I mean, great little fight there. You look at the recap. That was absolutely a win for the Dire side. Going to be able to grab themselves a nice little pickup there. And most importantly, that's going to be accelerating Spectre. but you know, if you're RMIT in this situation, losing a fight when you're already a game down, it's got to be doing some taxing numbers on your mental. Especially when you are playing against this sort of a compo, you know, like, hey guys, the enemy has Spectre, arguably the best level 25 hero in the entirety of Dota.
Yeah, you're on a timer for sure.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Definitely does
And
get
he's
stressful.
now. Oh, sorry, you go. Vex is comfortably farming in the bottom lane. Looks like the Radiant are moving top. Might be able to pressure this T1. Lost chance to farm himself. He's going for that Blink Dagger first up. The Broom Handle really helps as well. We have a TP in though from the Tinker. He wants to join the fight, and Sloth Tofu might actually pay for his life here. Nice Ravage connects onto 2 for the moment, and I think Lane is about to be slain for sure. Sloth through falls, Gush available, he goes down. Ooh, Winter's Curse, holding the Drow. Hezbollah probably needs a TP in if he can get anyone to come through. We do see Chill with the lift underneath the tower, but Billy gets a triple kill, and they're going to turn right on top of Chill OC as well. Anything for an ultra kill? Yep. They saved that for him purposely.
I just realized Kubala is actually playing the Tide Hunter and they have Billy the Brawler on the Tinker mid. So they've actually role swapped. I didn't realize that until now.
It's 10 minutes into the game, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm so used to seeing Kubala mid. I just assumed he was piloting the Tinker here. No, it's the Tide. Okay, that's interesting stuff. Does explain why the Tide has been able to be so belligerent. Kubala and, you know, his usual very aggressive playstyle does add up for sure.
Yeah, that's why he was just down bottom walking up to Drow. He didn't really care.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Bottom
attack.
tower might actually fall though for UOW. They've got that siege creep. No one's defending it.
Down the Dire.
Radiant's bottom tower
Clean up that
has
tower.
fallen.
Looks like the Radiant, though, they're going to respond, grab themselves their own tower up here, open the map up a little bit.
Is under attack.
But if you are looking at, you know, the probability here, I can already tell this is going to be well in the favor of UOW. Yes, indeed. It's certainly not where you want to be looking. You already had, you know, UOW looking promising for win percentage here because, you know, they weren't ahead enough when the enemy had the scaling comp, and then now, you know, the scaling comp has won early.
Dire's top tower
This is what
under
happens
attack.
to your win probability. It's just absolutely going down super fast. Hopefully they're able to hold on here. They did take down that Radiant safe lane. So the Dire safe lane tower. Now they're going to look towards mid.
Dire's middle
Pretty typical
tower is
rotations
under attack.
overall, but Chill has
Radiant's
to watch out if he does
structures
face check
are
this high
fortified.
ground. Kid has the Hex available.
For Llama, they managed to get rid of the DD there. But they do know Kid is there, so they might be able to punish him here. Lift as well into Avalanche. I do hear a honk coming out, but it's not going to be quite enough. He wasn't able to get the finger off. And Llama needs to be careful. He will get chased away, and Slain will fall down to MBTW. Sloth, toss over to Llama. Might be able to disengage. Ravage is up in 2 seconds though, and they might want to commit for it. Although it is just a pulse 3 tiny. If they see both here though, that is definitely a chance to get a double kill. But they decided not to.
Bluff is really behind.
Yeah, I know, he's pretty underwhelming. I guess it's that pulse 3 sort of thing.
He's maxing toss second as well.
Billy's in though to the mix. Lincoln's going to try and do some damage there. He's able to take down Llama. There is a nice Ravage connecting onto 2 there, and they pop both the enemy team players. Nice finger in response. So, yeah, RMIT actually, sorry, UOW able to come back there and turn that over a long period of time.
Nicely done indeed. But yeah, Tiny does look like he's maxing the toss second, so he's not going to have nearly as much farming speed as he normally would maxing the tree, which is, you know, what you max first, obviously, if you are playing
Oh, chill.
Position 1.
Be careful. I think you're in the wrong spot right now. I know. He's got his team to back him up as well. But Billy is here. Bit of damage. Kubala tossed up into the sky. Still alive for the moment. Anchor smash. Nice heal to keep him alive. Lincoln has a bit of damage though. Silenced up. Purifying Flames clears him up. The rockets missiles doing a lot of damage for the moment. Nice laser. They kill Chill, but they get a curse off on top of Slain.
Radiant's bottom tower
Slain will fall, and Linkus is just going to chase Kid it down to the middle. He's got that spike if he needs. And Llama's there for backup. The Gush kind of misses, but a Timber Chain forward. Bit of chakra damage. And supports should be fine here.
The good turnaround for the RMIT side. It's exactly the sort of thing that they needed in order to not, lose this game like they did in the first one. Fighting themselves coming back here. Big XP swing in their favor, big gold swing as well. But again, Spectre not really touched in that fight. Didn't have Haunts available, so didn't end up joining. Was just farming the whole time. And this Spectre is going to be that threat, the ticking time bomb like we talked about. They really do need to make sure that he's not being such a menace. And, with Aghanims completed on the way, on the courier.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Is it Aghanims? It's already ready and available. It's going to be kind of scary for the supports now. And just, with the Aghanims, will MBTW be joining more fights, or is that just something for later on? I feel like he wants to be more aggressive every time he has Haunt, right?
Well, yeah, because you have the Haunt and then you have the Shadow Step, and you can just cycle between them and basically join every single fight that breaks out on the map. If it's a good one, obviously, and you want to join. But it just allows Haunt to basically be permanently up to a degree. It's pretty solid for that reason. Yeah, he's definitely going to be joining more fights. The situations like we just saw where RMIT were able to win a fight because Haunt wasn't available and MBTW was not there, they're just going to become fewer and far between.
This Drow, Hezbollah actually has a game. He's sitting second on the net worth. Quite a little way ahead of Spectre, but not overly. But it just means it's a little bit more competitive, at least for now. The fact that Tiny, though, is sitting so far behind, I feel like if Tiny had a better game, RMIT would be winning this.
Yeah, I mean, he is building the Echo Saber Silver Edge, like we spoke about, but so far down in the net worth, by the time he gets those items online, I wonder whether or not the game is still going to be going on.
Kubala mid, Gush though, committed onto chill. He's at the lift to disengage for the moment, but the missiles are doing a better damage, he has to back off. They might get this mid tower, but the rotation's coming in from Slothfu and Lincoln's.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They have a catapult.
They do anything about it. And here a Hex. Very nice kid. Ooh, big damage onto his lane as well. They can probably commit to this. Ravage is available if they want. The toss on top of Gubala, still alive for the moment. He's affected. He's still alive? Nope. He's gonna fall though eventually to chill. And Billy's getting punished in the meantime. Stroud is doing so much damage on top of his head. Winter's Curse holds them for this moment. Put the Timber Chain through. Nice little still. Toss there too. So yeah, able to turn it.
Don't mind if I do.
Happened to MBTW there.
So definitely big fight for RMIT once again. But again, MBTW was not there. So
he haunted, but he just couldn't really get too involved in the fights.
I mean, I think by the time he haunted, he was looking at it, the damage had already been done. Didn't end up joining. That is unfortunate, but he has the Aghanims. Shadow Step available like we talked about, 30-second cooldown. Able to just jump around the map everywhere. I think we're not going to see him do. Just going to chill in the trees.
Yeah, no TP available, so he's kind of stuck for the moment, but he knew that there was some sort of smoke happening. And the Radiant were moving down his way.
That should help.
What does he do?
He's probably just going to Shadow Step away, if I was to guess.
Dire are scanning.
Gonna wait for someone to pop up. Either that or cut himself out of here.
The supports are trying to do a little bit of farming, but Sloth Tofu has the Blink Dagger available. Might want to grab a Kid here. Nice Avalanche toss as well. Damage, Purifying Flames may be available, but the Fade Bolt will collect the kill. Team effort there. Oh no, they found Spectre. They don't want to commit.
BTW is finally out.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Shadow Step to mid. I don't know why they didn't commit then. It's kind of strange. Gubala looking to get cornered. Lifted as well. Nice spike there, and Hezbollah has TP'd in on top of his head. That's a very nice kill for them. Should open up the top push and the top jungle.
I don't know if they can get this top tier 2. They are Definitely pushing their luck with that one, especially with the heroes alive. You know, Winter's Curse available. Divide Llama.
Ravage will be up to soon.
When he's not dead, yeah. Certainly is. Really, the brawler farming up. Healing has his Aghanims finished. Just gonna make Laser pretty scary.
I always forget the defensive matrix. I know it's a thing, but I just haven't. I don't really have Tinker in any of my games, but it's very good.
It's pretty gross. I know we saw Tinker for a little bit when he got reworked. Mostly a 2
That's actually what I thought would happen when it got reworked in Tinker 4. Divine Llama wants to go for a pickoff, needs to be careful. Winter's Curse only collects onto 1, so no damage there, but the Haunt will come in. Sidelines Gubala, forward, Avalanche, keeping him locked up for a little bit, but he has Ravage if he wants to use it. Slain uses False Promise on himself. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, they found Linux. Bit of damage too, but he's going to be able to Timber Chain away, but there's 2 blinks on the enemy team. Finger will clear him. Nice chase opportunity there, Kid getting the finger.
Yeah, he's got 3 stacks to his name so far.
Radiant are
He's doing
scanning.
quite well for himself.
I thought they were Wraith King Skellies then. I got very confused. Oh, chill. Breaks the smoke.
Yeah, Gubala didn't commit Ravage in that fight, still has it. This is going to be pretty nasty if they do decide to face check into Gubala here. Either way, he does have the Aghanims Gush available to chill in a very scary and precarious situation.
Kid is alive for the moment, but out comes the Ravage as well. Sidestep I hear, and they take out Chill first up. They want to turn their sides into Lincolns, but he's pretty alive and available. Hezbollah laying into Gubala for the moment. We get a buyback for Chill to join the fight once more. Kid dropping low. Lincoln's in Sloth, aiming him down. Hezbollah needs to be careful, but oh no, Gubala's being clipped on the sidelines. And they're able to find delay by Llama, who has Curse. He's going to turn his sights to the Tiny. Pretty nice kill there too. MBTW gets the kill into Hezbollah. The Spectre's looking pretty big right now. Lincoln's, he's left all alone. Blaine is here, I think. False Promise is not available though, so the Shadow Steps is going to clear him up in the meantime. And Llama, he'll try to heal himself. Can Lincoln's do anything about it? No, he can't. Billy's going to get the kill. A double kill, should I say. That's a dieback for Chili.
The brawler with a double kill. And, you know, we talked about this Tinker and his scaling ability. He has the Aghanims going now. The Shrink Ray. It's very scary stuff. Definitely is. It makes Tinker a bit of a nightmare to deal with, but you know it's also very good. Just the Aghanims in general this game, playing into things like the Tiny, like the Timber, generally do have quite a lot of max HP.
They found Billy though. Are they able to stop him from TPing? Shadow Step. Back in response. Sloth now looks to get back, but Hezbollah's there with the damage. And Sloth has to retreat.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is
So,
under attack.
win probability wise, still in favor of UOW.
Yeah, 93%. I mean, it shows why 4K gold
Top.
lead, right? And they have the scaling.
Kid's
factor
there
as
as well. Does he have Finger? Yes, he does. And they're able to kill the Timber Saw. Lincoln's falls, unfortunately. What a chill steal. Smash. Okay. So, you were saying? Ooh. Okay, Drow's dead. That Shadow Step's so good.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Let's watch out.
Chill is under a ward. Kid has stun if he needs. He's got the Hex first. They might be able to do with damage. Yeah, nice Gush.
Yeah, pretty much always want to Hex
Dominating.
first. It's instant.
Shadow Step. So I keep talking, but they keep doing stuff. It's like constant action here. Billy's up to the high ground as well. False Promise committed in the meantime, so. Ooh, should be okay, but I think Slane might die here. Yes, indeed.
He's non-stop action. I mean, when you're this far ahead, 7K gold lead, in this kind of a composition, you're just going to be running around the map killing people, especially as, you know, Tinker constantly jumping back and forth around the map with that teleport.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, Billy's playing out of his mind, just very active everywhere he needs to be. He is. You've got 2 heroes that are so globally present. the Spectre and the Tinker, so it's very hard to kind of catch them off because the rest of the team's all of a sudden arriving.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's not all too often that you want to Earth Spike and then a Hex. Usually the only time you want to do that is if you are trying to catch someone with the tip of Earth Spike, because it does have a longer range than Hex, I do believe. Hex's cast range is very small, but now that you have the Blink Dagger on Lion, you know, you can just blink on top of people, instantly Hex them. There's no counterplay. You usually can't even BKB in time because it's instant.
Yeah.
And then yeah, once the Hex is like about to wear off, you know, you have the Earth Spike follow up for the stun. It's pretty much just impossible to do anything about. It's why Lion is just so annoying in the mid to late game once he does get that Blink Dagger online, because he just becomes just a kill machine for his team, able to set up that instant CC into massive nuke damage with Finger of Death. But big Roshan fight here.
Yes, indeed. They do have the vision onto the high ground. Nice ulti from Gubala. Catches 3. Lincoln's falls. So does Hospala. And I think Sloth is about to pay for his life as well. Top won't be enough. And Shield's just going to get chased down by Billy here, who is luckily out of sight, so might be able to escape. Yes, he does. And Billy's in base. They just got that high ground vision, so they do when the Radiant were trying to come and contest that whole time. Very much vision. What's Billy going next? Hex, almost available. He's got the Mystic Staff in 300 gold. Oh, okay. Chill just died. I think Shadow Step was used there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I do like this build that MBTW's gone. You know, gets the Aghanims, looks for the Orchid next, and then into the Skadi. Orchid is going to be great against, you know, killing some of these heroes that have very good get off me tools, like Telekinesis on your Rubik, Gust on your Drow, you know, Avalanche on your Tiny, and then pretty much every single one of Oracle spells stops, you know, Timber chaining away. I definitely do like grabbing the Orchid and Skadi, you know, as well, just to be able to stick on top of people. Also gives you more stats. Stats, pretty much the name of the game for Spectre. Does like your agility, also likes her strength.
Oh, he's been caught out though. He does have Aegis, so he's not too bad. Kid is there for the backup. Nice Earth Spike. Flex onto MBTW alive at the moment. And fighting pretty hard, taking out a lot of damage. Lincoln's trying to create havoc. Oh, nice Winter Curse into the backlines. I don't think it's going to quite kill him, but at least it stops the right click damage from the moment. Goopalis just jumps up into high ground. Oh, Billy! He's everywhere. And they're still fighting. He's got a double kill. Aegis has been popped, but I mean, 3 down on the side of RMIT.
Gubala, absolutely terrifying lad. He blinks next to Slain, and Slain just with the false promise just immediately. Not even risking him to do anything. He didn't even have Ravage available. He was just terrified of just the raw Tide Hunter damage coming out.
Yeah. That's kind of how Gubala plays, just in your face. Pretty Chad. I don't even know if that's actually in the dictionary, but everyone understands what it means at least.
Bit of a pause coming out here though, called by the RMIT lads. Now, quick graph check here. Win probability for UOW sitting at 100%. I think this might be the first time that I've personally seen the prediction graph show 100%.
Can't do that. It's biased. Should just be 99%.
Yeah, I mean, usually, like, you would think it would, you know, have some kind of bias. Like, you know, it still could happen. It's 1%. It could happen. But, you know, UOW, Dota Plus giving them the full benefit of the doubt that they will take this one out. It was sitting at 99% for quite some time until literally just this minute. Has swapped over to 100. But, you know, we can see how this game has gone. You know, it started off fairly even. Again, they did pick mostly early game heroes with the, you know, the Tiny, with the Timber. Got themselves maybe a little bit of a gold lead early. But then, you know, it has just gone down. They had a little bit of a stretch in the mid game where they were winning fights while MBTW was not there, present while he was farming up his Aghanims. Was able to get his Aghanims on the Spectre. And then, you know, ever since then, he's just been every single fight. Also, the Tide finished his Ags, and things have just gone from bad to worse, basically, once, you know, this more scaling composition that UOW have gone for here has come online and gotten their items together.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very hard for RMIT to come out of this, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is 100%. Billy, 14-2-13. He's hardly died. Spectre's only died once as well.
I could not tell you the way that RMIT win this game, aside from UOW or like
DDoS attack.
they all feed to Fountain or something. That might be the way for them to come out of this one on top, but yeah, it's not looking likely.
Well, it might be wrapped up within the next 10 minutes, I dare say. We just got some issues apparently on the side of RMIT, so they'll be back soon. I go through and have a look at everyone's build. So yeah, Scotty, what does Spec have on Korea? She's sending it to the secret shop to buy her first item. First piece of Scotty. Bubala going for a refresher. Perseverance already there too.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Kid, he's got 4 stuff coming along. 5 finger stacks. A little bit of scaling, not too much. He's not actually put any levels into his talents though yet, so he might get a little bit tankier for level 15
Radiant's
talent
bottom
for plus
tower
7
is
health,
under
but
attack.
he doesn't feel like he needs that for the moment. He just wants to level up his... Oh, he's only level 13, but...
Yeah, I mean, pretty common. The level 10 talents are not super useful on Lion.
Useless, yeah. 60 damage feels nice if you do want to like farm some
Radiant's
items.
bottom tower is
But-
under attack.
He's just been in so many team fights, I don't think he really cares. He's getting all this money from team fights.
You're better off just earth spiking the wave than right clicking it anyway.
Yep. Oh gosh. They found Chill as well. He's under the lines. Lincoln's gonna fall too. Billy the Brawler, double kill, 16 in total now. You must know that's watered. Don't walk up there.
My
And
favorite
they
voice
just
line.
drawn
Radiant's middle
the
tower
Pew Pew. Mine's a Praise the Moon of Mayne at the moment. Like my favorite.
If I played Tinker at all, I would
Radiant's top
definitely use
tower
that voice
is under
line an
attack.
unhealthy amount.
Or the cut one for a Timbersaw.
Bala is just a menace with this Aghanim. It's just absolutely gushing high ground constantly. Yeah, I don't know, there's a whole lot to cast at this point, right? They're just kind of suffocating the resources, keeping RMIT in their base. Like, you're not allowed to leave. We're just gonna farm all 3 lanes, plus the jungle, and you are
Radiant's top tower is
restricted
under
to
attack.
only your lane farm. Therefore, you know, lane plus jungle versus only lane. One is going to ramp significantly ahead in terms of net worth as the game goes on, and then it'll just kind of get to a point where, you know, the game
Radiant's
is
top
just
tower is under attack.
impossible to lose, basically, as they just, you know, push high ground. They could definitely just go Roche now and push high ground and win the game,
It's already
but
gone.
that would be no fun. So,
I think Roche is down still for 5 minutes, but
true.
I was wondering, the defense matrix, does that, so that stops working once it absorbs 360 damage, right? 320?
Yeah,
but-
it's basically like big flame shield sort of thing.
Oh, the Shadow Step into base. Instant kill into the support. Slane has buyback if he needs. I don't think he's going to bother for the moment. He's just watching his team die before him. And Billy's just going ham. Nice finger kill there. A couple of buybacks. Slane, if he wanted. But like you said, they feel like it's unlosable, so they can just walk, dive through all T3 towers and just get kills left, right, and center. Oh no, this Tiny's definitely dead. Hustle, a nice gush to push them back for the moment, but there is a Winter's Curse, which collects Sloth.
Tinker is silly. He's a silly hero once he gets his items online. Not a lot of counterplay.
Dire's courier has been killed.
This Lion is still alive. Kid somehow didn't die to that. He's got Blink available to go. I wouldn't be surprised if he jumps forward and goes for some sort of kill, but he doesn't need to. Hezbollah though, turns. No, he doesn't. Billy gets the kill. Billy's got a triple kill. Lincoln's though, a little bit of damage, but the Hex is there and responds, but his whole team is dead in the meantime, so. How do you... What do you do here?
You type GG in the chat and let the ancient explode.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do at this point to get out of the fountain. So
There we go.
there we go. Finally, letting themselves go out with a bit of dignity. Definitely. But well, I mean, well played to both teams. UOW certainly strong competition, as we mentioned. You know, previous season's grand champions. So no slouch of a team, and finding them, you know, in the losers bracket here is certainly a little bit rough.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, how does the bracket work now? These guys are going on to verse University of Melbourne. So Wollongong versus Melbourne.
They'll be versing Team Looney Melb, who are certainly no slouch of a team. I think they were, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they were maybe in the same group as Left Right Goodnight, and I'm pretty sure they got out higher, so they're a little bit of a better team in terms of, you know, group placings, but certainly UOW are looking to make it all the way to Grand Finals. It's going to be a great one, and whether or not they're able to get past Team Looney Melb, well, have to wait and see. But this is not the only Dota match that we have going on today. Should maybe mention that one as well. We've got another match going on a little bit later, and it's going to be an upper bracket match. It is going to be the much anticipated, much awaited Clash of the Chads. And I remember me and Wandering Bard were actually casting very early on in the season in the group stage when we saw, you know, both these teams, and they were in different groups, and we were like, I wish that, you know, Giga Chadelaide and Ultra Chads are able to face off against each other in the knockout stage. How funny would that be? But that is actually going to be happening later tonight, so make sure you are staying tuned for that one. That game is going to be kicking off, I believe, at about 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So if that one is interesting to you, make sure you are staying tuned to @AU Esports League on all of the socials, including Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, as well as AEL Uni and AEL Uni 2 over on Twitch. As well as that, you can also check out our wonderful socials down here, as you can see, to check out all of our Twitter happenings. Are you much of a Twitter user, Wombat?
Since getting into esports, it's something that I've avoided for many years, but I'm trying to be.
Trying to get back more into it. I mean, sounds good.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, sounds good.
As well as that, just, you know, big reminder, folks, that this is going to be our next game is going to be the upper bracket finals. So whoever wins that game is going to be moving on to the grand finals, I do believe. So it's going to be definitely a really, really big one that you're going to want to watch. We saw UOW Esports here put on a massive display. They're looking to make it all the way through the losers bracket, and tune in a little bit later to find out exactly, if they do make that losers bracket run, who they're going to be facing in grand finals. But until next time, if you want to have one last little mention of our wonderful sponsors bringing us this season, Wombat, that'll be wonderful.
Yeah, for sure. We have 5 sponsors that have made this happen. Chatime is number 1, Fresh Iced Tea. New range for your local store. We've also got Predator, so they conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. AOC, best viewing experience on the monitors that they provide. Indomie, I've eaten way too much of that over my lifetime. And Rig, who specialize in headsets. Thank you to our sponsors today.
Certainly. Well, make sure you're staying tuned, folks, for all of the games we've got going on, not just Dota, but also the Australian Esports League, Uni League has got tons of things going on that you're not going to want to miss out on, including Counter-Strike Global Offensive. We've also got Rocket League. World of Tanks has actually just kicked off. And Rainbow Six Siege is always a fan favorite as well. So definitely a lot going on. Stay tuned to find out more, and we'll catch you next time.
Catch you next